Well, hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, but you can call me Pajama Grandma. In case we haven't met yet, go and put hashtag pajama in the comments below so I know it's the first time you're being exposed to the Pajama Grandma. I am calling today Grandma Day because I am going with my sisters and my beautiful mother to visit my absolutely amazing and tremendous grandmother. My grandma is going to be 99 years old in just 2 weeks, and she is one of two people that I drop absolutely everything for, reschedule all my appointments, which is what I did for today because I had, of course, a bunch of things scheduled and I rescheduled them. I canceled them. I kind of think of it as if I were to get sick and have to go to the hospital, what would I do? I would cancel all my appointments, right? So there's one of two people, my grandma being one of them, that I will drop everything for and reschedule everything and go and see her. When you have someone in your life who is so special and is almost 99 years old, oh my gosh, nothing is more important than that. And for a lot of years in my businesses, I didn't do that. I was too busy. I was too busy running my day-to-day brick and mortar business. And a lot of times I was short help and I was too busy working in my business instead of on my business. And I didn't give myself permission or the freedom to say, nope, it's more important that I go spend time with people I love and care about. I have not necessarily been a good example of living a balanced life. Okay, I've never been a good example of living a balanced life. I tend to go gung-ho in one area of my life or another at the expense of other areas of my life. So don't expect me to help you with balancing your life. I know that it's important, and I know that every aspect of our life, and I actually keep it in two places on my reminder boards, physical and mental, financial, emotional, spiritual, contribution, career, what else, whatever your categories you want to be, mental health, and I know we need to balance all those, but I will be the first to admit that I am probably not a great balancer of those things. I did do a cool thing yesterday that I want to share a little bit and talk about in the Supersized Business Challenge. And I shared, and we were talking about emotions and the power that emotions have on us. I think that so often in today's society, especially in corporate America, and, being a woman in corporate America, I was there for over a quarter century, and I work with a lot of corporations still. It is so, and because there's more of us in corporate America, and there's more of us in the work world, and there's more of us having businesses, I think it's being a little bit more okay to actually be human beings and have some sort of emotion with respect to our businesses. But it's still, you can't be out of control with your emotions if you want to supersize your business. And so one of the exercises that we did yesterday was we talked about, and we did every hour, once an hour, we just checked in with, how am I feeling at this moment of this hour? Because I don't know about you, but my emotions go like this every hour, up and down, not just once an hour. But it's a good snapshot of the roller coaster that our emotions are in a given day. I mean, I did like 16 hours, different hours, and I had a different emotion that I was feeling every single hour of that day. I think I had curious twice, but that would be the only emotion that I wrote down that I felt twice during that period of time. Otherwise, it went from, frustration to stressed to excited to curious to love to loving to hungry to perplexed to grateful. It was like the whole gamut of emotions. And I think that the vast majority of us, I don't think I'm different than any other human being with respect to that. We feel a lot of different emotions during the day. And then that was yesterday's assignment. And then today's was, okay, guess what? The number one thing you need to do if you want to supersize your business is you have to be able to control your emotions and and manage them and not let them control you. And so I gave a couple of strategies and exercises and things that I do to actually get control of my emotions. Because you know what? Even though I felt all those emotions throughout the day, I guarantee that the people I was interacting with and that I was talking to, and when I was doing my webinar and when I was doing coaching calls and things, I guarantee I might have been feeling several different emotions during those coaching calls, or I definitely was feeling several different emotions during my webinar, because I had dogs that were going batshit crazy. And they never go crazy during my webinars. And of course, I was the only one home, so I had to deal with them during a webinar. And you know, a couple of years ago, that would have just sent me over the edge, and I would have just freaked out and been so frustrated. I would have been like, I just don't know what to do. But now I'm just like, I just roll with it. I go with it. It's live video. It's a live video. What are you going to do? Are you going to get mad and upset? No, I'm like, okay, time out. I'm going to have to let the dogs out. Okay, time out. They're barking right outside my window. I'm going to have to let the dogs in. Okay, time out. I'm going to have to let the dogs out. It was just mayhem with the dogs. I don't know if there were wild animals going on and playing in the woods or what was going on, but they were just going crazy. So, you know, you just deal with what comes up. And we have to do the same thing in our businesses and in our life. But it's a lot better if we could do that in a proactive way, because we've thought about this and we're like, okay, I understand that I'm going to feel 15 different emotions today. Now, I can either let them control my life, or I can have a strategy for how I deal with things when I feel them. So when I start to feel stressed out or frustrated, what's in my little grab bag or toolbox that I can do to deal with that feeling? Because I know it's an emotion. I know it's a feeling. I might not know what triggered it, but maybe it would be valuable to me if I can start to understand myself better and know, Jesus, what kind of things tip me over? I'll tell you one personal one. My ex-husband, when he comes over to mow the lawn, I just get like this and stressed out. No, I don't, for no reason. He's a very nice man. There's no reason I need to, but it is just a conditioned response from the past. Now, I can get like this and get all freaked out, or I can say, okay, the ex is over mowing the lawn, and I totally appreciate that he does that, right? I can get stressed out, or I can take a deep breath. I can realize that this is just a reaction to the past for some reason, and that I don't have to let it affect me now. We're divorced. I don't have to let anything he does, says, thinks, or feels have a negative impact on me at all. I never really did when I was married, but I never gave myself permission to not let it affect me. But now there's no reason, but it is a conditioned response, but I can have a plan of action. All right, every time he comes over, and I actually do, I like take a deep breath, and I realize the past does not equal the future. The past does not equal the present, and that there's no reason for me to be uptight or tense or upset that he happens to just be here mowing the lawn. Actually, he's here doing me a favor. So I can ask myself better questions so that I don't have to let a natural, automatic reaction negatively impact me in any way, shape, or form. It might give me a second of pause, but I can control that and stop that before it becomes a full-fledged like panic attack. Now, I've never been a panic attack person, but if I was, I totally get how people can roll into panic attacks, because you get triggered by something and then you ask yourself a whole bunch of bad questions that feed that panic, and then all of a sudden you're in a full-fledged out-of-control panic attack, instead of at the beginning saying, okay, I'm noticing that this is how I'm feeling. Take a deep breath. How and why am I feeling this way? Is it true now? Is it true for me right now? Or is this just a conditioned response? Or is this just an automatic reaction to something that happened in the past? Maybe a hater or somebody says something mean to you online. I know, I can't believe that anyone would criticize or say anything mean to the pajama grandma, but they do. And when they do, you need to have a plan or a strategy of how you would react to that. Because I guarantee, no matter what you're doing, if you're building a business and supersizing a business, at some point, people are going to hate on you. They're going to be jealous, and it's always about them. The biggest thing for me when I get a hater is I always remember it's not about me at all. It's always about the person that is doing the hating. Whenever anyone is judging you for anything or spewing a bunch of crap at you, it's never about you or anything you've done. Unless, of course, you're an a-hole and you've done something bad, and then maybe you deserve the feedback. I don't know, because I don't usually deal with folks like that, so I'm probably not talking to anybody that would behave that way. But, you know, we're all jerks sometimes, and that's always about us, right? I will admit, I used to, when I was younger, get road rage to a certain extent. And then one day I realized, oh my God, the people around me have no idea that I'm upset about anything. They're just going about their merry way, driving in traffic, right? Doing their thing. And if I'm upset about something somebody does in their car, or if they don't signal, that's all about me judging them. It's not about whether they actually signal or not, unless, they almost cause an accident and that makes me upset. But for the most part, I would get upset about the silliest things. Like if somebody didn't signal, I'd be like, come on, don't you want us to know where you're going? Signal already. And that would be just about what I was thinking about, what I was feeling about other areas of my life. It had nothing to do with the other driver and that they didn't signal. I really couldn't care less if people signal or not. I think, we should let people know what we're doing when we're driving, because we've got thousands of pounds of vehicles that we can harm other people with. But that's just me putting my values and my beliefs on someone else. And guess what? We all get to have our own beliefs. We all get to have our own thoughts. We all get to have our own feelings. And as much as we think we have the right to judge other people's, we really do not. We don't. We don't have a right to judge other people's feelings and beliefs. It's each of us are individual human beings, and we get to have our own opinions. We get to have our own feelings about whatever we want, because that is creating our own experience. And, we might want to help coach people about things, especially if they're an important part of our life. But again, bottom line, I get to feel how I feel about something. I get to have my opinions and beliefs and thoughts and feelings about something. And you absolutely positively get to have yours as well. And if ours are in alignment and we choose to do something together, awesome. But if they're not, then that's okay too. Because there's a whole lot of people in the world, and there's plenty of everything to go around for all of us. So we don't have to control everything and make sure we're controlling other people. The only person we really need to control is ourselves. And that starts with controlling our emotions and the way we react to things. And again, we always react emotionally first. Our emotions always come first, and our actions follow based on the emotions. But sometimes we want to get our brain in there before we act. And that's what a lot of my discussion was about for the Supersize Your Business Challenge yesterday and today. Because that is one thing that we often pretend or act like we can't control, but we have absolute 100% control over. And as soon as we give ourselves the power and the reminder that we have control over that, we take back control of that, and we find ways and strategies that work for us to control those emotions. So today I'm thinking about my grandma. I'm thinking about all the appointments I canceled today and how the heck am I going to fit them in the next day or so and make sure that I meet my commitments to everybody. And I always do. I'm not worried about that at all. When I get back, I will probably redo my webinar, since I lost the screen sharing capability and over half of it was just me talking, which, come on, it's like these videos, just me talking can be a little bit boring. So I want to redo that today. And then I've got a couple other things I need to reach out and do that I didn't do yesterday for, I'm sure, very good reasons, but I just didn't do them. And so I need to make sure I'm going to do them. I also have like 20 people to schedule interviews with and get in touch with and make sure I get them on my interview schedule for the Supersize Your Business segment of my Pajama Grandma podcast. Because I'm interviewing, this is all a bunch of actually not service providers, all business owners, all people in different type of businesses, different stages of growing and developing their business. Some people are super duper successful in their businesses already. Some people are just in the first year or so. Some people are just starting out, but all different businesses. I mean, it runs the gamut, which I think is really exciting because it helps you to see, hey, if so-and-so is just starting out and they can supersize their business and this is their plan, well, I can take a couple pieces of that and I can learn that too. So I need to get those scheduled. I've got 2 scheduled for next week, but I want to get all 20 of them on the docket so that I make sure I put them in my calendar and I don't miss anybody. And I'm getting more and more people that want to be interviewed every day. So I think it's going to become a really fun part and a really exciting part of the Supersize Your Business Pajama Grandma podcast, because I don't know about you, but I learned so much by talking to other people and hearing their stories and what worked for them and actually what didn't work for them, because I might be thinking, oh, wow, I'm going to do this for my business. And then I find out that somebody tried this and it's exactly what I was going to do. And I'm like, I learned from their mistake and I either tweak what I'm going to do or I go a different direction with what I was going to do. That's one of the fastest, easiest ways to learn from people. That's it. Go out, make it a fantastic day. I am going to process my daily videos and go spend an amazing day with my beautiful sisters and mother and my amazing grandmother. That's it. See you tomorrow. Bye. Pajama Grandma out.